with a star needing emergency surgery and more. This is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video. Reporting on the travel issues that Impact Wrestling talent faced for Victory Road, PW Insider said, due to adverse weather conditions in different parts of the country, some talents faced flight delays and issues when trying to get to the White Plains airport for the shows. However, despite these challenges, everyone eventually made it to the event. Speaking of Impact Wrestling, it appears a star no-showed a meet and greet with PW Insider, reporting that ODB, who was originally advertised for today's fan festival, did not make an appearance. With him winning the Impact Digital Championship in a title versus career bout, Tommy Dreamer said this about future plans as the title holder. "People can understand why I'm so passionate for this industry. You were just there live and you felt that energy. You got to live that 2 to 3, 4 times a week, and I've been chasing that for so long. Kenny King, thank you. You gave credibility to the DMC. I hope to do the same. I hope you learned a lesson because, like I said, man, I got taught so many lessons from so many of the greats. I gotta tell you, it felt so good in front of my daughters, man. Another moment in my career, another moment in this venue. I got to say again, thank you, because I'm having so much fun. I gotta tell you, I will defend this title on every show I'm at. If it's an independent show, I will defend this title. If any champion in any company wants to try to take the DMC from me, I'm right here. Roman, Seth, Mox, MJF, anybody in Impact. Moose, you got history with me. New Japan, your local indie, wherever it is, this is a new start. I will always say life is just like professional wrestling. You are going to get knocked down, but you got to keep on getting up and keep on fighting. And I'm going to keep on fighting until I have no more breath in my body. Thank you. Advocating for AEW President Tony Khan to bet the farm on Bryan Danielson, Kevin Sullivan said on Tuesday with the Taskmaster. I've heard that Bryan Danielson is going to get more involved, correct? I don't know Bryan Danielson at all, but he seems very smart. I'll tell you why. He got over when they didn't want him to get over in WWE. I always hear well, it was organic. This guy had a plan, and he stuck to it. He is obviously a very positive person, and he believes in himself. After he became champion, I started to watch him. He's damn good. When it's all said and done, and they talk about Mount Rushmore, he's going to be on somebody's Mount Rushmore guaranteed. I think he'll do an amazing job backstage. I don't think we'll see any more physicalities. I don't think we'll see any screwy matches that don't make sense. He grew up in the wrestling business very hard. I mean, he was an independent guy for a long time. I'm sure he heard that he wasn't big enough for a long time. To me, I don't think they could have chosen a better guy to step into this slot. He seems to be able to handle adversity, and he also seems to be a guy that's very level-headed. That can get guys to sit down and talk before something explodes. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does. I know that he's going to do an incredible job. There are people in the wrestling business that are smart because they love the wrestling business, but they keep up with reading. They keep up with what's going on in the real world. They keep up with musical trends. They keep up with any kind of fad that's going on, but he's basically one of the great technical performers. He can give you any kind of match. I can't say enough about him because they have a lot of guys there that they could have overlooked Bryan Danielson, but Tony made the right decision here. And if I was in Tony's place to straighten up a sinking ship, he's the guy I would go to, and I'm betting the farm on him. I think we'll turn things around. I think we'll see a different kind of style. I think we'll see shows that are tied together. I think we'll see angles that have never been done before because I know in his brain he's been thinking about angles that are different since the day he broke into the business. revealing that he left Wembley Stadium during the AEW All-In event. Jim Ross said on his Grilling JR podcast, "I got to the stadium on Sunday afternoon at around 1. Shortly after, I got my assignment of which matches I was doing, which was the first 4 matches, which included CM Punk and Samoa Joe, and it included Kenny's match, and it included the Young Bucks and FTR. It was great. I actually got lucky, and I got to call the matches I specifically hoped that I would. If I could have added it, I would have called the main event. So what I did is I did my matches, and I went back to the hotel, and I had a link to the show, so I watched the rest of the show on my hotel room from my iPad. I might have missed one match, like 10-minute drive to the hotel. It was cool, man." At the Superstar Spectacle event in India, Seth Rollins and John Cena teamed up against Imperium, but before the match began, fans sang the theme of Rollins as Cena decided to dance along to it. Here's the video. With her starting a campaign for more respect after her tag team partner Piper Niven was revealed to be not medically cleared on Raw, Chelsea Green took to Twitter to make a list of demands, writing, "Justice for Chelsea, writer, private dressing room away from non-champions, 1,000 packs of Hubba Bubba, grape only, heated toilet seats in said dressing room, 5'5" or less, male fanboy, temps above 71 degrees Fahrenheit, bowl full of green Skittles only, homemade guacamole made in-house, no bananas anywhere." Talking about his previous match against Will Ospreay, Ricochet told House of Wrestling that he's like my little brother. Absolutely, I would love to have another opportunity for me and Ospreay to have another bout, especially because I believe the last one way, I think he won. That's so dumb. So I would love to have my revenge on Will Ospreay in any capacity, absolutely. But like you said, he's doing his own thing. He's making his own, he's paving his own way, he's doing his own thing on his own time. So if it happens, it happens, but until then, I do just hope he stays healthy. Stop doing so much stuff and hurting yourself so much. Mentioning the possibility of CM Punk returning to WWE after his firing from AEW, Kevin Nash said on his Click This podcast, "He's already put himself on the mantle right next to the Ultimate Warrior. Go shake the ropes, buddy. You punched Luke Perry's son. Sucker punching his son." In an update on a signing for AEW, it was said that Fightful Select sources have confirmed that Mogul Embassy Affiliates manager Prince Nana is remaining with AEW as he recently signed a multi-year contract with the company. Nana's work has received high marks within AEW and significant praise by several on the roster and in management. The deal was done in the last month or so. Explaining WWE's thought process behind putting Edge back in the intro for Smackdown despite him having his final match with the company, Steve Carrier of Ringside News noted that Edge reappearing in the Smackdown intro created quite a stir. "We can confirm this was not a sign that WWE thinks they have Edge coming back. It is also not an instance of one hand not knowing what the other is doing either. This situation is interesting because it might have been intentional." An investigative podcast titled Ashley vs. WWE. The story of wrestler Ashley Massaro has been started by journalist Isabel Thompson, who is looking to expose WWE. The synopsis reads, professional wrestler Ashley Massaro died by suicide in 2019. Ashley vs. WWE follows events leading up to her death and examines allegations of abuse while she was wrestling for WWE. As journalist Isabel Thompson delves into Ashley's story, she investigates whether her allegations are just the tip of the iceberg. The story takes Isabel from the UK to Ashley's home of Long Island and into the world of WWE wrestling in the early 2000s, where the power, influence, and misogyny of the real world played out through the characters in the ring. Ringside News added, in the affidavit written in Massaro's own words, she detailed a trip to the Middle East on a WWE mission to support the troops. Massaro said she was drugged and by a member of the U.S. military during that trip and was later told by Vince McMahon that she would never speak of this. WWE allegedly didn't want to ruin the relationship between the company and the military. WWE later went on to issue a response on the matter in 2019 when the story started gaining steam after Ashley Massaro's tragic passing. The company was saddened to hear about her passing, but they also made it clear that Vince McMahon and WWE management was never informed of such an incident. Giving a health update on her husband, WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and his wife Deborah said this on social media. We want to thank everyone that came out yesterday as Jim was honored by the Glens Falls Firefighters Association and apologized to those that came after 3:30. Jim was taken to the hospital and admitted yesterday evening. He had emergency surgery this morning and everything went well. We will reschedule tomorrow in Utica, Missouri for a later time. We welcome your prayers and we will continue to provide updates. Thank you, Deborah. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.